This video is brought to you by eToro. Now, you may have seen that eToro sponsor a number of Premier League clubs, and you might be wondering, who are they? Well, eToro is a global investment platform with over 16 million registered users, which offers everything from stocks, currencies and commodities to cryptos like Bitcoin. Now, if you don't have time to invest, eToro is perfect. You can use eToro's CopyTrader feature, copy top performing investors, so when they make a trade, you make the same trade automatically at no additional cost. So if you're looking to start investing and you want to find out more about eToro, then click the link in the description and get on it right now.
Well, and welcome to AFTV.
Interesting start.
I know. Hi, and welcome to AFTV. You've tuned into the pre-match build-up show with myself, Cecil Jee, and my guy, James B. And we'll be looking ahead of today's match. I just did that, I just looked at the badge.
Did you?
Today's match against Man City.
I told him if he ever forgets who we're playing, because we're so busy, we have so much to think about, to look in the corner and he'll find out. We jokingly said it. What does he do? He has a little peek round. Yeah.
But listen, guys, thank you for tuning in. Now, this video has been sponsored by eToro. Thank you for tuning in. Now, you know what time it is. It's a pre-match build-up show. We're going to break down how we can beat Man City. We're going to break down
how we lost to Everton.
Yes, first how we lost to Everton and where we're kind of going wrong.
Yeah.
Where we can make improvements and where City are going to, I believe, are most dangerous today. So we'll go into that. But yeah, and then up next, obviously, we have the starting 11. We're going to the watch along and then fan counts. But first, let's take a look back. Now, I'm assuming this is the 11 that started against Everton, James, am I right?
It was the 11 that started against Everton. I want to break down the, sort of, obviously, we didn't have the Tactical Insight show, which is a shame, because obviously, government restrictions and all that. We can have Graham. Hope he's doing well. Merry Christmas to him and his family and all of you out there as well. This is a difficult one. I'd love to have broken this down with Graham. We don't have him. It's going to be just us two. We did the stats review show where we spent a bit too long talking about one particular player. I was uninspired by this lineup when it came out, and I'm uninspired looking at it even now. Like, I got to say, I think at best we could have hoped for was a draw, simply because Everton, you don't know what you're going to get. Don't think we were ever going to score the sort of chances needed to break down an Everton side who are on the up, playing full centre-backs, have the crowd back, all that. And, you know, lo and behold, we didn't. I've actually got this wrong, by the way. It wasn't Bellerin in the lineup. Let's take him out, if it lets me. And, of course, we did have Maitland-Niles as the right wing-back. Before we go into the goals and stuff, the 11, do you think we'll see a similar thing tonight against City, or do you think we'll see a big change?
No, I believe I did my 11. I believe there'll be a lot of changes there'll be a lot more changes today, I believe. I think there'll be more of the youngsters involved. I said there'll be a mix between youngsters and experienced players, but I mean, this to me is a B team as this is partly a B team to me.
Do you think?
If I'm completely honest. Not everyone. There's definitely likes of B team players in there or quality, in my opinion, but yeah, James, I don't think we'll see that. Do you think you'll see much of the same?
It's interesting because we don't have that many suspensions or that many injuries, so we shouldn't be depleted to the point where we feel like we're looking at a complete B team. I felt the following players struggled in this game. Eddie Nketiah, I thought struggled. Willian, Nicolas Pepe. Yeah. I should have highlighted the ones who didn't struggle.
I was going to say, match. You could probably...
Rob Holding didn't have his best game for me. El Neni and Ceballos, I thought. So I'm really only looking at like 3 or 4 players who I felt, were actually sort of having some sort of positive impact on the side.
That's not good, bro.
No, it's not. It's not good at all.
That's really not good. So
why
50% of the team.
50% of the team.
Why? That's probably poor for me. I think 60% of the team. Then you're saying had a bad game.
And why am I highlighting them? Because most of the players who for me struggled, as you can see there, were in that front. What do you call them? Front 5.
Yeah,
I guess front 7 with the wing backs. And this is exactly why. Let's have a little look at the goals. Guys, do get your comments in. Do chat to us. What went wrong,
pop to comments now because we're getting loads flying in. Thank you, guys. I think everyone's asking, will Troops be here at the watch along today? Unfortunately, Troops will not be joining us today. I believe he probably has to isolate. He's retired.
Yeah, we don't know the situation, but he is back in the UK. Which is good. We missed him.
Yes, and DT is here in the building, so you'll be seeing DT. Prepare for another meltdown, I think people are saying, but I mean, I could predict that as well. That's something we can actually predict. We normally get a lot of things, we get quite a few things right. That one I'll probably That's up there. If we could put bets on that, you know, we could be rich.
Cecil says stuff on this show that I'm just like, I'm gonna shuffle away from that.
But no. So that's all the questions so far. I believe just looking forward to the Man City game. I'm actually excited to see this game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the lineup, how we approach it, what lineup City go for. But before we do, if we got any chance of beating them, we've got to get some of the things we got wrong right today. Couple of things now. We recreate these goals. We started doing this in the last few weeks. It's been good fun, hasn't it? It gives us another element to our analysis.
I love this. I honestly love it. I know you take pride in it. And guys, listen, James, people saying that we're the GOATs, but James is the man. He's the guy for this. Breaks it down for you perfectly. And obviously, we haven't got the rights to the actual footage. So this is the best.
It's the best we can do. Which means certain things, like where this happened, might have been slightly further forward and not as far back as it was. But obviously, you got to deal with the fact that you got certain size restrictions and all that. So forgive me. I'm very aware that at the end of this clip, Calvert-Lewin was in the box when he scored. But that's not really the point I want to make. So this will absolutely do enough to show the points. Let's start here. So the ball comes out to Richarlison. He takes a good first touch. And this is the goal. I'm going to play it through once. It comes through to Davis. Decore makes a forward run, which means everyone's retreating. Iwobi's able to run at us. Puts it in the box. As I said, Calvert-Lewin was actually in the box and it sort of deflects in. Really wasn't even off Calvert-Lewin. It's more off Rob Holding. But anyway, that kind of bit is a bit moot. It's not really the point I'm trying to make. The point I want to really focus on is the midfield. Now, Saka is playing that sort of left wing / drops to left wing back when he's got when we don't have the ball. Yeah. So you can see him retreating very quickly. I think what disappoints me about this clip is when Richarlison gets the ball, Maitland-Niles, Holding, Ceballos, they're in and around. I think even Pepe, in fairness, is meant to be there. But there's no real pressure on him. He gets the ball, it's popped back to Davis, who's on running. There's no pressure. Elneny doesn't look to press, Ceballos doesn't look to press, Calvert-Lewin's in a bit of space. Decore's managed to run beyond Willian.
Yeah, that's
his first error.
That's the first big problem here.
The first of many.
We can't do it again.
No, I can't do it again. I cannot do it again. If you want to see my thoughts on Willian's performance, check out the stats review show from yesterday. Yeah. Davis is then allowed to carry the ball a long way. I mean, that doesn't do it justice. But the fact that I've had to include a segment where it's just Davis and the ball running just proves that there was a lot of backing off from this team.
Really, our striker, I know he's not in this demonstration, but he should be dropping in.
Right, you think Nketiah might be dropping in or someone, but it didn't happen. And I think the frustrating thing here is we said that the way we've been defending, normally when teams get into our half, that's when we engage. That's not the sort of press we want to see, but it is kind of late what we have been seeing. But what's really frustrating about this here is even he's driving into our half, and again, there's no engagement. No one is going to take responsibility and put him under pressure. And this is ultimately the theme of why we can see this goal. It comes out here to Iwobi. Now, in fairness, Willian at this point has followed Decore's run. He's dropped in quite deep, and he realises he's got to press Iwobi. By this point, Iwobi's afforded so much time. There is nothing. I'm going to take that back actually a second. There is nothing here from Willian that really puts Iwobi under pressure. Now, we saw Iwobi for years at Arsenal. I think from 2015 to 2019. So about 3-4 full seasons for the club. Delivery was not his thing. Never. He was very good at the through ball, the getting in and like threading a little pass through, but he was never
beat the first
a crosser
man
of the ball.
No.
And despite a low block with a back 5, 3-4, because Pepe's actually back in this shot at this point, it was meant to be. 9 back behind the ball, we are still not able to deal with this cross, and it all comes from Willian not putting Iwobi under any significant pressure, not even to block the shot, but at least to make the cross difficult for him. He doesn't, it goes in. Holding's not tight enough to Calvert-Lewin, and because of that, it's all a little bit awkward. He's not able to deal with it, bounces off him and goes in.
Agreed.
Just really lazy. We're not defending. If I just show it here. Oh, sorry, I'm getting this a little bit wrong.
No
here we go. This area of the pitch, we don't engage in it. We don't engage. We don't go. It's like when they enter, we feel we need to step back. And I think that's what's so frustrating. And I want to ask you, Cecil, is that Is that a tactical thing from the coach, or is that a lack of confidence? Because you know when you're confident, you chase everything. You believe you're going to get there. You believe your man behind you is going to cover.
Yeah.
What do you put that down to? I'm going to play the goal while you're talking.
God, I believe it's, again, James, I believe it's down to a confidence thing. Now, I am going to look at the midfield in the next section of this show. I'm going to be breaking it down, our midfield and City's midfield. But I think it's a lack of confidence because I think they're scared to, if they press, we haven't got the player quality to even make the challenge. And if they don't make the challenge, they know, well, we're in danger. And I think that's that's down to confidence and trusting your ability.
Do you think they're worried about leaving space behind them?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I mean, that's criminal from Willian, isn't it? And I know we're not watching the real footage here, but it's the movements and everything is pretty spot on. And Willian was far too slow to get there, and the defence should have done better. But just stop the cross. One of the easiest things in football. If you get to your man, stop the cross.
Or just affect it in a positive way, like I said, block it, stop it,
or force Iwobi to go round you, something,
or push him
anything.
wide. Like it's. I mean, I'm not here to we're not going to go attack players again. We haven't really done it. We're not going to attack the player, but I'm just saying. I think the midfield is a big problem. I think this is why you see the likes of Xhaka, instead of him pressing a man, trying to tackle a person, he drops into the fullback position to cover. He never really engages. I think he feels he's not mobile enough. I think that's a lot of our midfield, if I'm honest. They're just not athletes in a sense. The only person I've seen really do it is Partey.
It's true, they're not athletes. I agree. We don't have a very athletic, or certainly we didn't against Everton have a very athletic starting 11.
Yeah.
One thing they had was 4 centre-backs, which means big, strong, they know how to defend one-on-one and win their duels. And then they had Sigurdsson, Decore, Davis. You know, they're mobile. They can get around the pitch. Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, Iwobi. Absolutely. And I feel, you know, you're right. It was almost like we didn't have the players, so we were too scared to press, which is a shame because what we've done so well under Arteta in the first couple of months of his job.
It was depressing.
Yeah, I agree. Should we go into the second goal?
Let's have a look at it. Oh,
there's very little to show here. You'll see it in 2 seconds. This is it. Sigurdsson in the box. Mina, easy. We've got Ty in the building, who we can hear just around the corner. He's arrived. Now, this is a tricky one, okay, because Everton didn't even commit that many men in the box. I mean, I tried to draw. I mean, I think it literally is just Holgate, Keane, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, and they're basically occupying that sort of middle back space of the goal to allow Mina that run up. Now, Pepe, he gets pushed off.
Yeah, he loses his man.
And Mina's got a free run at it. Now, it's frustrating because I feel like if you've got someone on the goal line, maybe you do better with that. I sort of need to watch back again where exactly in the goal it went, but I feel like someone on your goal line deals with that. I think Leno maybe should have done better. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. But isn't the whole point as well of having Nketiah and Luiz quite far forward is that anything that comes into that area they deal with? Get rid
of it. Well, I've said this previously in our stats review show. I said, listen, what Arsenal tend to do, I believe, what I've seen, they do half zone or half marking, which is fine. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I think half zone or half marking is fine. You just have to do your job properly, and that's simply, if you're marking, you have to stop the man. You have to stop the man from making a run, interfere with it. Pepe lost his man from the beginning, as you can see here. He at least blocked.
I'll show it one more time for you.
At least block the player off or affect it. He completely lost Mina.
Yeah.
And the players that was zone marking, they didn't affect the goal either. They should be challenging for that because that's their area technically in front of the goalkeeper's front post. That's their area. They didn't deal with it. But I think it is kind of down to Pepe losing his man because all he's got to do is at least run with him and at least jump with him just to put him off.
You see, it's interesting that I think I look at Pepe for sure, but also it's the advantages with the attacker to run forward towards the way the ball's coming and get ahead on it. So I'm looking more at the people we have in the front post, like Luiz and Nketiah, mainly Nketiah, but then I'm thinking, I can't expect Nketiah to win that. That's not what he does. So should we not... Mina does this. Mina is very good from set pieces. Should we not prepare for this properly? And I think since Andreas Georgeson arrived at the club in the summer as part of the new staff who came in, he came from Brentford, he has had an impact on us on set pieces. I mean, you can see from the chances we've nearly had, the penalties we should have had, the goals we've scored from set pieces, we have looked better. Not perfect. I'm not saying it's anything that many people are necessarily noticing, but there has been an improvement, even from defending set pieces. But here we are, 2 weeks in a row, we've seen a goal conceded from a set piece at the near post, corner. You know, at first it's Aubameyang with the own goal, and then it's Mina. I wonder whether that's something teams are going to target with us now.
I mean, yeah, 'cause I hope not, because I think
No,
set pieces. Like you said, we started really well defending them. Now it's becoming a bit of a habit. But today's game, I don't expect to see City scoring from a set piece. If I'm completely honest, I think that's not where they're strongest. I don't think they would agree that that's their strongest set either. I think they'll be coming from either the midfield, taking shots from outside the box, expect goals from outside the box in the midfield today from City, or what they famously do, come down the wing, cut it back across the goal, and then they score. That is
Very
a regular
true.
occurrence currently.
Shall we look at one last aspect of that Everton game that infuriated me before we chat about City? Because obviously they are today's opponents. Now, what I'm going to show you here, guys, this wasn't a moment that happened in the match. This wasn't a clip of anything. This won't be anything you remember. It's just an example of our football and patterns that I've been noting in the way we move around the ball and what players do that I found very difficult to sort of ignore. And I just want to play this through for you guys. So this is typically the sort of movement we see. Admittedly, it wouldn't even be as fast as this.
It's true.
Luiz gets the ball. El Neni, whoever's in central midfield, might drop out to get it. Willian might knock it out to Tierney. Now I want to pause it. Oh, and I've managed to ruin my own graphic. Nice.
No worries.
I just want to take it back to this bit here. Come out to Willian. Willian might find Tierney, who's taken up that space. Now, what I'm trying to show here, Saka is very good at making those runs in field. Sort of trying to occupy the fullback, trying to occupy fullback to centre-back, trying to make a run in behind. We saw one of our best chances of the game came like the 94th minute when Tierney played that flick pass into Saka. Sort of this one here.
Yeah.
And what I want to see is more of that. Saka getting in the box, Nketiah or some striker knowing that that's going to happen and getting towards the back post, maybe towards the front post, something like that. But the reality is we don't see that. And what we see a lot more of is Tierney with that ball coming back to Willian, back to El Neni, and we start building again. Now, I want to sort of apply a little, I'm going to play it through while I'm talking about it. I want to apply a little bit of logic and sort of try and understand why it is we're doing these movements. Maitland-Niles comes inside, Pepe hugs the touchline a lot, he might then go back and we rebuild. Look at El Neni, Willian, they always pull out. These are movements I'm seeing Arsenal do a lot of. Again, you're going to see here the movement I want to see. From Saka and Nketiah, you don't. And I think I'm trying to understand, why is it that we're doing so much of this? Why is it that we are going from side to side without ever really penetrating? I think it's... Oh, sorry.
James, the reason why we're going side to side, because, guys, if you guys are watching, you're going to see this today. Sorry, I get passionate about this, because I broke down Man City today, and I think Pep is everything that Arteta wants to be. It's very clear, in my opinion. Man City clearly have the players, they have the know-how, they have the talent to break through these lines. The players, the midfield likes of De Bruyne, Foden, they get on the ball in these gaps here. Unfortunately, we haven't got the players to do that. So we go side to side, and I think in the Europa League, you can watch it. If you watch back at our Europa League performances, Arteta does try and create the down the wing, cut it across, which Pep's, I think, his team's famous for currently. But right now, we haven't got the players that beat the fullbacks and we haven't got the strikers to convert the crosses. I've been saying it for a while now. It's getting frustrating.
Well, I completely agree with you. You're making a really good point. We're trying to do this football. We're trying to essentially target the wings and the side areas without having the players to really do it. Now, Saka looks capable of it. Pepe, skill set-wise, should be capable of it, but hasn't been.
Yeah.
But there's one glaring problem here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now, I know this. I just said this isn't a clip. This isn't anything that happened actually in the match. But I'm telling you, go watch back that match and see on how few occasions we had somebody taking up that area. And not even just to receive the ball, but to at least draw in the likes of Sigurdsson, Decore, Davis, make it harder for them. Make Iwobi feel like actually when Sigurdsson goes in and vacates that space, he needs to watch over Willian. And then Tierney's actually got someone to overlap. At the moment, he's overlapping Willian, but he's outmarked. And I know, again, I get it. People might look at this and go, well, you've just made this graphic, so you can make it look like how you want. But I'm telling you, watch how we played that game against Everton. We might even see it tonight. We are very, very, very bad at looking after that area of the pitch.
I mean, go on.
Yeah,
so
go on. No,
I was
go on.
going to say, Nketiah has been told he's just a number 9. It's not been told. We as fans are aware of it. Arteta says that he's just a number 9. He's not a player to come in and play that 10. It's not even a 10 role. It's just dropping off and getting the ball spinning and creating chances. He is a fox in the box, so they say. As much as I want to see more from him, yeah, that's what he does. So that gap there, that's no one occupying that gap here, is where we struggle. But we haven't got the players for it, and I'm just getting tired of. It's just we repeat it. I know we're trying to be positive and try and find ways in, but I just feel like that's not the route. We need players involved, being brought in that can do that. And again, when we go to the midfield, when we go into the when we go into the stats, you're gonna see the stats of it all, that we don't create from the midfield, and even the wingers, they don't do their, in my opinion, they don't do their jobs. They don't get crosses in. Yeah. They don't really affect the play, and it's.
And a follow-on to what you just said there in terms of doing their jobs, it also requires being brave. How often have we seen El Neni, and this might be tactical instruction, and I need to stress that, it might be Arteta asking them to do this, but how often have we seen Luiz go for that side pass there, to either Willian, who's dropped into where he could find space, El Neni's dropping in, Ceballos tries to get it in tighter areas, but it doesn't really pull it off. We don't have players who are brave enough. Even Saka's the only one who comes into central areas, like that area there, and says, give me the ball, let's see if I can turn, let's see if I can make something happen. Pepe doesn't really do that. Pepe wants to hug the touchline where he knows he's got space. So I just think there's a real problem in the way we approach breaking down teams, and I just think if it's not going to be something Arteta fixes tactically, then we need to do a Man United and get in a Bruno Fernandes, or get in a player who naturally takes up those areas there and is going to get the best out of the front three around him. Then maybe we could see us really skyrocket and actually not just take a step or two forward, but take several steps forward as a club in the way we play football. But it's just something I wanted to point out, and it's for some of people who watch the show. Hopefully we change this. I don't want you to watch tonight and see this. I want us to have improved on it. But just have a little look at, see if you see it, or at least if you watch back the Everton game or the highlights, just see if you notice what we're talking about. We don't commit enough players into that number 10 role, personally.
Yeah, and just to back that up, guys, sorry to keep pondering on the same subject, but if you just think about, if you tell me, guys, in the comments, or whoever's watching, or think back to the last time you saw a defensive midfielder or midfielder break through and take a shot.
Well, Willock actually did it against Everton, and we were like, oh wow, what's this thing we're seeing?
Interesting.
Well, he didn't take a shot, but he did that. He broke through. Yeah.
I'm talking about, because I only say this because the only one I have in my mind right now is when Partey ran through the middle.
Oh god, yeah.
And just literally took he burst through the midfield and just shot, and I was like, wow, that's different, and and that may not be, well, no, I know it's in his game, but I think he's been deployed in Arsenal to be the defensive midfielder, but he done that really well.
He's got that drive about him, hasn't he, Thomas Partey?
Yeah, and it's mad. Sorry, guys, I will get to your comments. I'm just, that, it does frustrate me, and I think you can feel it. Like, we analyse so much of Arsenal, and it's been so negative recently, and just, it's painful. It's like, how do we get over this hurdle? How do we do it? And again, I don't know if it's a tactical thing, but all I remember is when Arteta first came in and he won the cups, the trophies. I think it's because teams didn't really know what he was going to do, and they weren't used to getting adapting to Arsenal's play. And I feel like that was a benefit for him, and he really exposed teams by having a new, different style of, well, it's not a style of play, but he had ideas that Arsenal never used. But now he's been snuffed out. He really has. He's been found out, and I feel like you can literally stop Arsenal by stopping. You can double up, Saka, double up on Pepe. Saka.
Don't give Aubameyang space. Yeah.
And that's literally
it. It's too easy.
You don't have to worry about the
That's why we need invention. We need something different. We need a player who could do something different.
I was going to take some comments before we move. Are we heading on to the?
Yeah, let's chat about City. We'll chat about City.
I'm going to go through the stats. I'm just going to read some comments. There's a lot of spam in the comments today, as you know. So what's the final lineup? T-Bab says, obviously we don't know that yet until 7 o'clock.
Should be,
It should be coming out. People saying take your time with it.
Do you know how many people I've seen sending that?
That aged absolutely terribly. Okay, but you know what? I can hold it. I could. Listen. This is what we are. We give it so we can take it. This is how it is. Pause. Masterclass from Arteta incoming, says Pezzle Mighty. People say refund the ting. Caden Armstrong. People saying Aubameyang own goal today. There's a lot of other fans in here. Bring back Ozil. I know there's a big shout. We might see Saliba today. I'm speculating.
I hope so, man. I'm
speculating.
Hope so.
I think he deserves to be involved. Currently, I am not Saliba. I am here with James. I am Cecil. Please don't say that he can't be playing because he's here. That's about it. There's just a lot of Aubameyang own goal. I don't know. There's a lot of spam in the chat today. A lot of Man United fans. People saying remind us of what position we are on the table as well.
Yeah, we don't know. It's Carabao Cup. We don't talk about it today.
Yeah.
It's a cup game.
But yeah, all right, cool. So let's get into something I was breaking down this morning.
Yeah. Do you want to bring them up now?
Yeah, let's pop it up. So I looked at the midfield, right? Because we kind of have touched on it, but I just feel like we have a lot of problems currently in the midfield. I feel we can. Do you know what? From the eye test, we always do this. We watch the games and we think, where are we going wrong? And I say we keep talking about creative problems. It's been a theme of this year. But I was like, okay, let me compare it to City because we're going to play them. I'm going to see what's the difference.
They are top dogs when it comes to midfield
and quality and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm like, are we really that far off, or am I just going crazy? Nope, I wasn't going crazy. We are that far off. So we have Ceballos here, and we have De Bruyne. We have Ceballos to the left and De Bruyne to the right. Now, obviously, to me, out of the other midfielders, I think me and James discussed this. They are similar in a sense of what they're trying to do for their team.
Yeah.
One does it a lot better than the other, but we're about to write that down. So these stats are from the last game.
Yeah.
I am aware. I fully get it. You can't depict a game. You can't depict someone's stats from just one game. But I thought it's the best way to do it. And the team we did are similar as well.
And also it's taken into account their recent form, and Everton and Southampton away from home are very comparable fixtures.
Facts.
You know, I'd say they're just as difficult. You're coming up against both teams in good form who've had their blips as well. So I think it is comparable. And yeah, I mean, when you look at it, you can see what kind of one offers over the other.
So we have Ceballos with 0 shots. Now, he is the more, of my opinion, the attacking midfielder. So to me, that's poor. Shots. At least one. At least do something from the midfield. But then it highlights again. I always say it, I don't see where Arsenal can score. I always say it. Normally I can see a way at team's going to score before the game or during it. I can never see a way. That kind of backs up here. 0 shots. De Bruyne had 2 in his last game. On target, he only had 1. But it's still good because he adds so much. He offers so much more with not just shots. He also does, as we're about to see here. Obviously, Ceballos has 0. Excuse me. De Bruyne has 4 key passes. This is the highest amount in the whole of the City team during that game. So he had the most key passes, and with that he got an assist. If we look at Ceballos on the left, he has 1 key pass, no assists, no crosses. And then with De Bruyne with 4 crosses, which again...
It's a figure of his game. He loves putting that ball in, and he's very good with it.
Very good at it.
Unbelievable delivery, yeah.
Very good at it. And the reason why I'm going to talk about crosses quickly for a second. The crosses, the highest amount of crosses in our team normally come from the fullbacks. So you guys know, they always have the highest amount of crosses. It never comes to the midfielders. However, the midfielders sometimes have more than the wingers, like Willian and Pepe, for example. I believe Willian had 3 crosses, but none of them were good. In the last game, they weren't written down as 3. There were 3 that didn't hit the target in crosses.
Yes.
So this is what I'm just trying to say. This is what we're going to be up against today. I actually don't believe De Bruyne will start. Oh,
do you not?
No. You know when I say things, I'm like, can I retract that? But I don't know. It'll be him or Foden, or it might be both. But they both.
I can see them playing like Gundogan, Rodri and Foden in the middle and resting De Bruyne. I could see that.
So that's what I believe. But again, sorry, I'm getting excited. I'm getting very rushed. They got Newcastle next, Man City. So they might use De Bruyne.
Home or away?
They are, I believe they're home. Yeah, they're home. I believe City are home. So, not to be rude to Newcastle, but I don't think they're too worried about giving De Bruyne a few minutes because they're saving him for Newcastle. So he might feature, but that's what we're up against today in the midfield. Basically, we're kind of screwed for the attacking sense of the midfielders. Now I want to look at the other midfielder, Mr. Mohamed El Messi and... Sorry, I can't even gas myself up. Mohamed El Neni and Gundogan. So these two, I think, in my opinion, are similar in the sense of they're more defensive for their teams, in my opinion. So we're going to break down their stats here. El Neni, 0 shots. I don't really expect him to be shooting, but I mean, anything can help this team right now. Gundogan's got 2.
That's the thing. Like, what this is sorry to interrupt. What this is highlighting for me with the last graphic as well is the contribution that comes from City's midfield. We know they've got a stellar front 3, but they don't just rely on that. It's what they're doing from the midfield area. I mean, Guardiola, he's always said midfield is everything. And he wants his midfielders to do everything. He wants De Bruyne to be able to press and win the ball back. And he wants Gundogan to also be able to have shots. And now, in fairness, I think Gundogan's had more of a box-to-box role of late. But then he's done a bit of a box-to-box, in fairness. So, we're not getting from Arteta isn't getting from his midfielders what Guardiola's getting from his. So I completely agree. But anyway, carry on breaking these down. But
Perfect.
I just wanted to stress that.
No, it's fine. Obviously, yeah, we said it there. Like, we should be, even if we are defensive, we've got a defensive midfielder, we have nothing else going forward. Please try and offer something to the team. I'm not assuming Arsenal players will be watching this, but if you ever look back at it, just please.
Be brave.
Yeah,
have a go. Take
please,
a shot.
Like, we commend that. We commend that, honestly, as fans. Like, at least try it. So shots on target 0, Gundogan again 1, key passes 0 from El Neni. Gundogan 1, so he's doing more. Interceptions, which is what we...
Level.
That's one positive.
With
They're
one.
level, 1 with 1. And then possession gained 2, Gundogan with 4. So again, it's very clear to see who's victorious in the stats, and I think it'd be very clear if you put them side by side who's going to win the battle in midfield. So I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I made this for you, Cecil.
Oh yes. Well, actually, yeah, I forgot about this. So, do you want to explain it, or do you want?
There you go.
So, guys, this is the midfield and attacking front three. It's the squad depth, basically. What we have as options in the various positions. So we'll just quickly smash through this. We'll start with the striking up front, the STs. We've got the Lacazette, Nketiah and Aubameyang versus Aguero and Jesus.
I mean, I think that's good. I mean, I think Lacazette on his day or certainly a couple of years ago was as good as what Jesus is now. So, if Lacazette can somehow find form, there's just been a long time. We know Aubameyang scores goals. Aguero is like a Premier League legend. He is. We're very lucky to be witnessing Aguero right now. Hopefully he doesn't score tonight. We're not lucky enough to see that.
But we both expect Aguero to be starting due to, obviously, he's come back from injury.
Yeah, I think he needs the minutes. But I think what we're highlighting here is just, we've got the numbers. You can see we've got 3 potential left wingers. Even Willian and Aubameyang can throw there compared to City. We've got the depth. We've got the numbers. It's just, look at their quality. Rodri or Fernandinho can sit there. You then got Gundogan, De Bruyne, Foden, Bernardo Silva. Oh my God, what do I do for one of them? They're 4. It's phenomenal. Sterling, Mahrez, Torres, who can all play on either side. Jesus can play on the wing as well. The quality they've got, and I think the reason we're stressing this is, if Arteta is trying to get us to play a type of calculated attacking football similar to what Pep did under City.
Correct.
And you're wondering why we're struggling to do that. Well, look no further.
Yeah,
because I mean, no disrespect to our players, but wow.
No disrespect, but full disrespect. I mean, just look at the levels. I'm sorry. We've been very nice, and we've given a lot of these players chances. I'm not saying all of them aren't to their levels. There's a lot of young players in there that I think have a lot of potential for Arsenal as well, and will have successful careers. And we do have players that are returning that are probably at the level of some City players, but a lot of them, unfortunately, aren't offering much.
Shall I show you the comparable ones? The ones who actually, if they played for City, would, I think, get some sort of minutes or be somewhat involved.
Go. I'm intrigued to see this. Yep, 100%. That's clear. Yep.
And I think that's it.
Seriously? Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think City wouldn't get anything out of Aubameyang now?
Do you know what? They would get...
They'd get more than
he would play. But I think what I'm more trying to say is the players who I think Guardiola would go, yeah, Saka can play the kind of football I want to see.
Yeah.
Martinelli can play the kind of football I want to see. Can do the kind of movement.
Yeah.
Beat players and make things happen. Partey, I think Partey could slot straight into the City midfield and be world class.
I'm questioning
really
Pepe. Would he thrive at City, or would he? No. Sorry,
No,
I'm playing devil's advocate here. That's why I wanted to know.
Sorry, I don't think he would, and I'm not trying to be hard. I hope if Pepe plays today, he has a stormy performance. But I've not seen Pepe deliver from the right hand side what Mahrez delivers for them.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
I think Sterling.
Ferran Torres. People talk about
both
needing a year. Ferran Torres has come in and he's hit the ground running. He doesn't start every game, but he looks dangerous. He looks like he's got something about him already. Pepe's had moments, and Willian. We thought Willian was the experienced Premier League option. He's not doing it. So what I'm saying is, by pointing this out, by talking about what you did with your graphics, whether you're Arteta in or out, and I got to the point where I said that I've lost faith now. I don't believe, seeing the decisions he's made, the way he's handled certain situations, how he's approached games, how he talks in press conferences, all that has ultimately led me to decide that I have no longer faith in our manager, and I'm really sorry to say that. I hate saying it before a match. It's not nice. But where I do have to defend him is, this is what he's used to working with. This is what he's working with.
Correct.
You know, two completely different cuts of beef. Do you know what I mean? It's a completely different level.
Yeah.
And so he found a way to win the FA Cup. He's found a way to get something out of this group in winning a trophy and being competitive at first. We might even be in another cup semi-final after tonight. Maybe. I know a lot of people writing us off for that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you want to see the sort of football that we thought we'd get after those sort of his days at City with Guardiola and everything, don't expect it until we seriously upgrade in that area. And I'm really sorry. Some of them are youngsters, Willock, Smith Rowe, they can learn. Some of them are good squad players, El Neni. But I just felt that was worth pointing out.
Yes, thank you for that, James. And I always like seeing the squads and who's going to last and who do you think would work. So, guys, I'm just going to take some super chats just before we leave. I'm going to there's a lot of spam in the comments. People are saying we've been losing since we've joined, apparently, to the day. But that's rubbish, because Take Your Time With It came out when we beat Man United. I was dancing. Yes, I was a fool for it. But, you know, it's a memory. It was my birthday. Allow me. Right, so let me take some super chats. KD says C and B, maybe C and J, I think he means. What's going to be the scoreline? Now, I'm going to quickly do mine. I think 2-0 City. Sorry to be negative. I did the live with Robbie last night, and I came in the Everton game and had a confidence about myself. I was like, yes. There's something in the air. Man could smell it. I was like, we're going to win. Had my big chest down in the office, had the influencers in there, and I was like, yeah, we're going to win. Yeah, we didn't win. And I got ridiculed for it. So, today, I want a nice surprise.
Did you get ridiculed?
Yeah, I did. Because I was messaging my friends as well, like, yeah, I can just feel it. My friend even made a bet off my feeling that we were going to win. How much faith does he have in me? That's how much analysts are. Don't know what it was.
Did you give him his money back?
No. So today, I'm going to be unoptimistic and think we're going to lose 2-0. I think Sterling will get a goal. I think they'll get 2 and then shut up shop. And yeah, like I said, it'll either come from their midfield or it'll be the cut across the box. It could be more, but I feel like they'll do that and then shut up shop. That's my score predictions. Yours, James?
I said 2-1 in the live yesterday.
I
think I was on a tiredness high. You know, I was just sort of like, yeah, why not? 2-1. If I'm being really, really honest, no, I don't think we'll win. It's painful to say. Don't think we have the confidence and all the quality. Right? It's one thing when we beat them in the cup semi-final, we had lots of confidence because, you know, we were on the up. We got some good results. It was all new and fresh with Arteta. Now I'm not feeling that way. I think that's sort of worn off, and I think the quality will show. So I think we'll lose 2-1. I think we'll get a goal and work hard and give them a game, but I think we'll lose 2 or 3-1.
Facts. And then we've got Lloyd Pope's going to smash through these. He says, lads, if we play our A team, we're going to get battered. We have a much better chance with our youngsters. At least they'll have some fight and a spine.
Yeah, I actually agree with that completely.
I fully agree. Thank you so much for that, Lloyd Pope. I know you're a regular. Thank you very much. We both agree. I want to see a mix with... no, I'd rather just see youngsters. I would like to see Saliba. I'd like to see David Luiz in the midfield, defensive mid. I know it's crazy, but you know what? What else we got to lose? MM has sent us super chat. Thank you very much. Smiley face and a ha ha ha. Jesui Ahmed says, why doesn't AFTV mod the users get rid of the spam? There is a moderator in the chat, but yeah, sometimes, you know, it is what it is. And then Victor A says, big up Cecil and Jay for the build-up show, doing a great job. Victor A, my guy, thank you very much.
Means a lot, that. Thank you.
We're here just to break down what we can for you guys. We really enjoyed doing this show. It's one of our flagship shows. We use the tactical pad. It really means a lot for you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for always being consistent and taking our information. Up next, obviously, we have the starting 11. You'll have the banter, you'll have the meltdowns. I can't promise that, but I mean, it's probably going to happen. And then we've got fan cams. Madhav Ramesh says, we will win 3-1. Remember this. We're normally good in cups. I like his optimism. Hopefully we do. I'm now going to end it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the pre-match build-up show with myself, Cecil Jee, and James B. Hopefully we get a win. That's all I can really say. Hopefully we get a win.
We need it.
Thank you for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the content coming up for you guys.